Welcome back. Welcome back to Beautifully Built. Today's guest is Theresa Nist. She is a woman who proved to the world that it's never too late to take a bold leap of faith. As the winner of ABC's hit show, The Golden Bachelor, on its premiere episodes, Theresa captured hearts with her warmth, courage, and openness to love later in life. But beyond the romance, her story is about stepping outside of her comfort zone, embracing new experiences, and finding unexpected joy along the way. Theresa is not only a devoted mother and grandmother, but also a woman who inspires others to say yes to opportunities, no matter their age or stage of life. From navigating the spotlight of reality TV to forming lifelong friendships with the other women on the show, she embodies resilience, grace, and the belief that new chapters can be the most beautiful ones of all. So nice to have you, Theresa.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to be here, and that was such a nice introduction.
Oh, but
I
it's
really
very
appreciate
true.
that.
I mean, I have to say, it's like, I think, I'm turning 60 this year. So, yeah,
Me
so I understand. Yeah. And I was like, wow, when I was thrilled when they came out with The Golden Bachelor because it was like, yay, finally, something like, for our people.
Mhm, mhm.
But tell me, how did your journey even begin? Did they seek you out? Did you seek it out? How did that even start?
Uh, okay, that's a great question. So, my husband passed away in 2014, and when he passed away, I really felt that's it. I'm never going to date again. I never want to be with a man again.
Mm,
It was radical, and I think a lot of women who lose their spouses might feel that way. And so, for 14 months, I really just cried pretty much every day. And one day, I
mhm.
came out and I said to my daughter, "That's it. I really just want to have dinner with a man. Like, I just want to have a conversation." And I started dating and I went on dating apps after. And you know what? I would enjoy the date and I would, make a connection. And invariably they would say, "Oh, this is it. You're it. We have such chemistry." And I wouldn't feel it. So
Mm.
I got tired of saying no to men and I just withdrew and I stopped. And this application came through, and my daughter sent it to me, and she said, "Mom, why don't you fill this out?" And I said, "Okay." And I was actually sitting at this
Oh
table,
my.
and
Okay.
yeah, and I had my Mac in front of me. I just took photos of myself, and it was a very long application, and I just sent it in, and I forgot about it. And I think that was October of 2022, I think. And
Okay.
then it wasn't until the next February of 2023 that I got this call one day at work, and this girl says, "Oh, I am such and such. We're really interested in you. We'd like to interview you. And do you have time right now?" I said, "Well, I'm at work, but I can do it
Oh
tonight."
my
And
gosh.
that
Yeah.
was yeah, it was an associate casting director. And if you passed her initial review,
Mhm.
then you went on to the next round. And she said, "Okay, I'm going to submit you." And I was in front of then a major casting director, and he filmed everything I did. And then it was his job to submit it to all the producers. And then there was an interview with, I think, six different producers
Oh my
in a
goodness.
Zoom call. Yeah, just, hitting you with question after question. And then all they would ever say, and to every single person who did this, "Okay, you're on to the next round and the next
Oh,
round and the next thing." And you never knew what the end
oh my
was.
god.
And
Right.
it was an FBI check, it was a drug test, it was an STD test, it was just a lot,
Oh
psychological
wow. Yeah.
exams. They're very, very thorough. And so finally, you get to the day where you get that call, and all along, my daughter and I we were ordering gowns because we were researching like how many gowns
Oh.
do you need? What do you need to do? And I get
Yeah.
the gown and I try it on. If it wasn't good, I would send it back. It would be shipped out. And so 2 weeks before we were set to start filming is when they told me that I had it.
2
And
weeks, that's it. Oh my
that's it.
goodness.
I guess they don't want you to have any time to tell anyone that that's what you're
I
doing and where you're
see.
going, I
Right.
guess. I don't
So you
know. I
didn't
really
know
don't know.
where it was. Did they tell you prior, like, dates
Mm.
at least so you could keep the dates
They
available?
That's a very good question because I asked that on the call with all the producers. I said, "Well, when does it start?" And he said, "August 3rd." I said, "Oh, August 4th is my birthday." And
Yeah.
he said, And this is, I'll tell you, this is an inside story. And he said, "Oh, that's great. You can walk out with a birthday cake." I said, and I thought to myself, or I could walk out in my birthday suit, but I said, do I dare say this? So I
Yeah,
said it
yeah.
out loud. I said,
Did
or
you
I could
really? Yeah.
walk out in my birthday suit. I was only kidding. And he said, "You're hired." He was only kidding too. But
Right,
they
but they
said
liked
that.
your I'm sure they liked your yeah, the personality showed there, which is so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay. So where were you when you got that call?
When I was in my backyard. I was gardening.
Okay. Oh,
I was
you were? Oh, how
gardening. That's
nice.
what I
And
was
then you
doing
called
'cause
your
I'm a
daughter
big
right
gardener.
away. Okay. Oh, nice.
They
And you called your daughter right away. And what did she say?
right away, and my son, and they were
Okay,
just
good.
so excited. They were so thrilled. They're over the moon.
Oh, that's so cute. Because I was gonna ask you, how did your family take it? Well, I love that they were kind of the little instigators. This is just
Mhm.
fantastic. I'm
Yeah,
sure they
yeah.
do you think it's
Uh,
they just knew that heartache, they wanted to help you through that heartache, I'm sure, right?
yeah. Yeah, and it was the whole thought of, like, I just went out with all these men and I didn't find anyone, why not let them scour the United States and find the
Mhm.
best possible person? So that sounded good
Yeah,
to me. So,
right?
makes sense.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I remember so first let's go to when you came out of the limo, I can't remember that. I remember the diner date, which was I saw all the episodes, but the diner date was just beautiful. But before that, when you did how did you obviously you didn't come out in your
Yeah.
birthday suit?
Yeah, so no, I tell you, it's close.
Yeah,
So when I found out who Gary was, and I found out that he really pretty much had my exact story, that he I was married for 42 years. I think he was married 46 years, and to his childhood sweetheart. And our spouses both died of kidney related
right. I
diseases.
do remember that connection
Right.
between you.
I know. I said, "I don't wanna come out in my birthday suit. I don't wanna look like a floozy. I wanna just come out and say hi." But they loved that idea so much, and so we did it, and so I did come out in this flesh-colored with a black bathrobe on with a flesh-colored skin tight thing underneath,
Oh,
and I
yes,
just
now I
told him
remember.
that I was going to do that. I had a smile frozen across my face. I was so, so nervous. And
Oh my
I
goodness.
looked like, oh my God. When I saw myself on TV, I almost died. It was horrible.
I think that was
I was,
no, I think you won everybody's hearts in that whole I mean, my husband and I were fully rooting for you.
aw, you're so nice. Thank
It's
you.
true though.
That's so nice.
You had this like warmth about you. Um, okay, so and I know that then you did even get was the marriage itself on television as well? Was that televised?
Yeah, it was televised. That's kind of
Okay,
crazy,
because so
right? That's
right? So for of those that don't
mhm.
know, Teresa was the one with the final rose. And unfortunately, after a while, it didn't work out. And I know you're not, I'm going to respect the fact that Teresa doesn't really want to talk a lot about that, about what happened. And I can completely appreciate that. But you were
Okay.
married then together for how long?
So we were together. The show ended in November. I think we were together 6 months, but we were
Hmm.
married 3 months. It's a very
Okay.
short time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know. And I mentioned before, I've had one of those. So I understand, most of my
yeah,
listeners, I think, know that. I had
I
a
can't even
3 month
believe we have that
in
in
common,
common.
right? I
That's
know. Yeah. Cause when does that happen? But I think it happens a lot, unfortunately.
you know.
Yeah. But and so let's start with when you met all the women. Did you meet them for the
Oh,
first time when you get into the house after the
yeah.
limo? And
That's
how
another
was that?
great question. So
How
I
was
will
that?
tell you, it was great. I was equally looking forward to meeting all these women as much as I was looking forward to seeing who Gary was. I was so excited about the women and about the adventure of it all and seeing women who were in my same situation. And I knew that I was going to be seeing beautiful, accomplished, wonderful women. So that was exciting. They kept us away from each other to not not have to not have that surprise element. They wanted us to
Mm,
meet each other for the first time pretty
on
much when
camera.
we got in the limo. When we got in the limo was the first time I
Okay.
saw these women, and and then for the rest of them, it wasn't until I walked into the house. And
Right.
so it was intimidating. I would say,
I'm
everyone was
sure.
looking at each other. I really wanted to make friends. And still I'm sitting there in my nightgown and I couldn't get into a dress. But yes, meeting the women. was for me one of the main things of this whole experience.
Right,
And
and I
that's
want
one of
to
the
get to that
Mhm.
after because I think that is a powerful part of it. We'll get to that because I have that on my list for sure. When you went in there, was there one person that one of the women that you clicked with the most?
Well, right away, I sat next to Patty James, and
Mhm,
unfortunately, she was gone the first night. She was delightful. And then Edith and Peggy.
mhm.
And yeah, it was we were sitting next to different women all the time. So it was like musical chairs. People were
Okay.
changing spots. So it's very difficult to walk into a room of strangers,
Oh,
right? And
absolutely,
right.
and it's a
Ye-
competition, and you know that deep down, so you're like, "Oh," yeah, I'm sure it's very, like,
Yeah,
stressful. How was
it
it when you
was.
first saw Gary? When you first saw him, how did that feel? Did you have a feeling? Did you not?
Yeah, that was so surprising to me because I was immediately attracted to him. I didn't expect that at all. I got up to
Right,
him and I
right.
was thinking to myself, I said, wow, I'm really attracted to this man. And I spontaneously kissed him without thinking. It was like almost like saying, oh, welcome home, darling, at the end of the day. But it was a very short peck. And I
Yeah.
just felt comfortable. I felt like I knew him and then walked into the house, and I said, "What did I just do? Like, I just
Ah,
kissed him, like, that was
yeah,
crazy. What am I thinking?" So, yeah,
that's
so I
funny.
yeah, I was
But you
impressed.
felt a warmth or you felt some connection, so that's probably
Yes,
why you
I
did. Yeah.
did.
Which is interesting
Yeah.
because a few weeks ago, we had someone on that was on Married at First Sight. And what I found to be the biggest
Mhm.
hurdle for every one of them was seeing if they had chemistry or were attractive. Like they could maybe work at all the other stuff, but if that's not there, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it doesn't work. So that's good. That must have been, did everybody kind of have that feeling or were there some that just didn't
I
have that
don't
vibe?
think everyone had that feeling. I mean, I didn't learn about that until much later. You're
Right.
not really discussing what your feelings are about him. I think everyone was just so excited. They thought he was very handsome. The comments that everyone was making. And, and I really, but I don't think, of course, you're right that you have to have chemistry with that person. And I don't think it was there with everyone. And I really did go into this. As I said, I really was looking forward to meeting the women, but I was looking for love. I went
Hmm.
into it for love. And if I don't know what stage every other woman was in and how open they were to the experience of love and whether or not they did make a connection. And maybe, many of them just kept that to themselves. So I really don't know
Right.
definitively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, at least when you walk in, you have that chemistry. So you're like, okay, check. At least you can check that
Yeah.
off the
Right.
box and go, now we can move forward. And what do you have like a moment during that whole experience that was one of your favorite moments or one that still stands out to make you laugh or memorable?
Thank you. Yeah. So it was the moment after Gary and Leslie were in front of the fireplace and they were dancing. And then the whole group of women went into the room to dance. And I was the last one into the room. And he looked over at me and winked at me. And I don't know what there is
Oh,
about a wink,
oh
but
yeah.
that just gets to me when a man winks at me. So
I
I
totally
just,
agree.
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah. And it was,
it's a little intimate, it's a little private,
yeah.
it's not like announcing to the whole room, that's nice, I like that. Very, very cool. Okay, and then what I'd love to find out is, you're going in there, I'm sure you're out of your comfort zone when you do that. How did you talk yourself through it? You know what I mean? You're in that place, you're totally or before you even went, you're gonna be out of your comfort zone. How did you get yourself to, like, be okay, breathe, and I can do this?
Yeah. So I was, so open and so excited about the experience and ready to, to meet these women. But I will tell you something happened early on, very, very early on, with Kathy.
Oh,
And I
yes.
don't know if you know the incident.
Oh, I
and
do. Let's talk about that incident because most of us were
yeah,
like, "Oh my god." Yeah, so tell us about that.
yeah.
Share with
Like,
those who haven't seen it.
all right. So I really wanted to make friends. And the first day after we were down to 16 people, and Kathy and I were in a room, and she just looked at me and said, "You're the one. You're the one." "It's not me, it's you." And I said, "Kathy, why are you saying that? There are 16 women here, it could be anyone." She said, "You're his type. I'm not his type. You're his type." And that kinda stuck with me. And then every day, Kathy was with me and hung out with me, and I really thought Kathy was my best friend in the house. I would have
Really?
sworn to you, and it's also on the show where I'm saying, "Let me go talk to Kathy. We're really great friends." And I thought so that was the reason that when I came back from the date, I confided in her. Because,
Mm.
at home, I would have my daughter, my daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
my 2 sisters, my best friends, my
Yeah. So you
coworkers. I
have,
have so
right.
many people to talk to. You've got no one to confide in. I was so excited about the date. And in no way, I'm a very open minded person. In no way did I mean to ever imply that, oh, I got this and
Oh,
everybody
no.
should
And
go home.
it
I
didn't just,
just,
come across that way.
yeah,
Don't, no, did not at all.
I think it may
But
have
her
been.
reaction,
Yeah, I didn't know, like, I didn't know how she was so upset about it, and I just thought I was in the kitchen and I'm whispering and I'm saying, "Kathy, it was so good. Oh my god, it was so great." And it was specifically because Gary said to me, "I am sick of the lake. I'm sick of the boathouse. I wanna move to Charleston." And I go, "Whoa, well, what are the chances?" My son lives in Murrells Inlet, and I kind of almost thought serendipity. Okay, maybe this is meant to be. I don't know.
right,
Like
right.
this is something that I didn't expect. And so that's what happened. And then but I started feeling a coldness from a certain side of the room
Hmm.
and I started going back into my shell and I found it extremely difficult to be myself. I just couldn't from that
Really?
point
Because what did
on.
she say? She said something. What did she say that was I
Yeah.
can't recall.
The, the bit
Zip
remark.
it.
You mean
That's it.
that?
She was a zip
Oh,
it one.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Most of us were like,
No.
why?
When
No,
Well,
we didn't
before
like
that
that.
happened, we were sitting on the steps and that was when I said, "Let me go talk to Kathy. We're really good friends." And then when she said what she said to me, she said, she told me I was dismissive of her. I cannot even tell you how that hurt me that she said I was dismissive. I would never want to be thought of as being dismissive. I
Mm-mm.
didn't I almost thought she counted herself out. I like in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, well, she's just here for the adventure. I don't know. And
Hmm.
so I crawl into the floor. I was mortified. I was crying my eyes out. I was planning on leaving. I
Were
didn't want to
you
be there.
really?
I really in that moment, that would be the end. I didn't wanna be there anymore, and I went up to the bedroom, and Faith was such a doll, and she was one of my roommates, and she came up and comforted me, and then all of a
Nice.
sudden, Gary is in front of me, and he's in the room
Yes.
going, "Oh my god, what are you doing here?" Like, first of all, I look horrible, the room is a mess. The last thing I expect is for you to be here, but he gave me very, like, counseling words
Hmm.
that, I sort of like you would say, like, as dorm room counselor. It wasn't very romantic. It was just, if you feel you haven't done anything wrong in your heart, then, it was advice you would give to anyone. And I was
Right.
thinking all I was thinking was that was really nice of him. He would give that advice to any woman who came up
Yeah.
here. And I saw it as, not a big deal.
Right.
And but the next night at the rose ceremony, this is what led up to the zip it remark.
Oh, okay.
Kathy said to me, "Oh, so did you get your time with Gary?" She had gotten a special rose from him. And I said, "No, but he did come up to my room." And she goes, "He came up to your room? Now that's something you shouldn't have told me." And I go, "Oh no, I can't. Are you
Oh,
kidding me? You say he came up to and I say,
yeah.
Kathy, it was nothing. What do you think I had a negligee
No.
on? Do you think I had sex? No, it was nothing."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Oh my
So then that
goodness.
led to the zip it remark the next time we were together. And I was like, oh, I don't want drama. I go, I am the drama. Like if a million people,
Right.
anybody in my life would say, Teresa's no drama. Like she doesn't have drama in her life. So
Right,
how did this
right,
ever
and then you were
happen?
at
But
the
anyway,
in the middle of it. Yeah, that was rough.
yeah.
That was for a lot of us watching, I think. We were like,
I mean,
"Okay,
and I,
that wasn't good girl code stuff. That was like, that wasn't good
but
sisterhood move there."
But hey, I love Kathy now, and I understand her, and I wish, I would have. There are personal things about her that I didn't know that were very, about her husband passing away, taking his own life, and those
Oh,
are
I didn't
things
know
I
that.
didn't know. So we had not connected on that level, and she's a wonderful person, and I love her. So
Oh,
it's
good. So
just,
you were
you're in a
able
position. Go ahead.
Yeah, oh, so you were able to get past it. What did it happen after the show then or later?
Oh, it's after the show, but it's just the mechanics of being in that position, and I
Mhm.
guess you just naturally get competitive, so,
I
anyway,
think it is.
that
It's
was
like I can only imagine that you're in it, you're trying to see how your relationship is with Gary, everybody else's, and at some point, it's gotta feel like that jealousy has to creep in. I can only imagine. I mean, I don't know. I'm a Scorpio. I don't share well.
Ah! No, you were
Yeah, so I don't know. When did that kinda creep in? Does it finally creep in, do you
the
think? You know, the
you mean the
jealousy or
competitiveness?
yeah, like it's at first, I'm
No.
sure at first you're probably like all a little bit competitive, but you're also, there's a newfound kind of camaraderie or sisterhood that's
Yeah,
starting to form. But then at some point, as people develop feelings, there's got to be some kind of envy or jealousy that starts to creep in. Is there?
but I would say for me personally, no.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm out of the ordinary. I really am such an open-minded person. I only ever wanted him to find the person that was right for him. And it is truly the case. Who wants someone that doesn't want them, right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
explore it with every single woman. And yes, okay, so towards the end, did I ever get jealous? No, if you look at this show, you'll see that
Hmm.
every time some got a date, Leslie or Faith, I applauded it. I was so
Hmm.
happy for them. Leslie
Yeah.
and I are such great friends. We are tremendous friends. And I love Faith and I love Ellen. I love all these women and Sandra
Hmm.
and Edith and Peggy. And I talk to them all the time. I just talked to Peggy. I talk to
Oh, how
Leslie
nice.
pretty much every single day. And yeah, so jealousy, it didn't happen for me. But
Hmm.
yes, as closer and closer and you're just two people, yeah, I guess it would happen.
I
Yeah.
guess I don't know. It feels like Sister Wives. Like
Yeah,
that
it's very
kind of
situ
situation, right?
yeah, not yeah, like, this seems like so natural. It's not natural at all. This is, like, the
Yeah,
most unnatural situation.
unnatural. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So now when you were on it, because the women were such a big part of it, I found that in the Golden Bachelor, the sisterhood was stronger than any of the other Bachelor seasons I've seen. And I think that was kind of a lot of people's, take on it. And I don't know, I think it's because, we're just older and maybe, I'm not sure. What do you think it is? Is it like an understanding that's a little bigger, better?
Yeah, it's a we get wiser as we get older,
Mm-hmm,
right? And all the little petty things that used to bother you when you were young don't bother you when you're older.
mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's not petty anymore. It's you really are seeking.
It seems like you gave each other more grace than the
Yes.
younger bachelor or bachelorette episodes do, or seasons. That was the biggest takeaway for me and a lot of people I had talked to during it, that it just felt, yeah, that the camaraderie and the sisterhood was more real and genuine and deeper than others in the past. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So did you watch Joan's season then as the Golden Bachelorette?
Oh my god, of course.
I
Yes.
figured, right.
Yes, how
Yes.
could I not? I watch them all now, so
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
of course, and I'm so looking we'll talk about Joan's season, but I'm so looking forward to Mel's season that starts this week. I can't wait
I
to watch.
know it does. I'm very excited about that
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Oh, me
it's
too.
great. Well, let's talk about Joan's season for a moment. I have
Yeah.
not watched the full season
Uh,
of that. I know there's so many shows. It's hard to,
yeah, yeah.
but,
Tough.
yeah, but on that season, I know she was in, the Golden Bachelor and she had to go home. Her daughter had a baby, etc. So it's kind of nice. It was kind of nice, another new opportunity for her. What did you think about that season? What was surprising, or did you kind of just know how it would go?
Um, I did kind of know how it would go because I know Joan, and I
Right.
know that she would be very careful and that she would be not frivolous with kissing a whole bunch of different men, and she would want to make it very special and she would not want to lead anyone on. So she's very much in control, and she really does know what she wants. And I would imagine, and I know for her, she pretty much, right away who you have
Mhm.
a connection with. But of course, she stayed open minded to the possibility with any of the men. So it was different.
Mhm.
So different. Now you're seeing camaraderie among men, which was amazing.
Right?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it was so great. And
Yes.
boy, I would love to follow these men and have them all live in a house by them, together
Yeah.
and see this interaction. I would have loved to have seen more of that. Let me see more of it, more
Right.
behind the scenes. But it was that was phenomenal. That was surprising.
That
Didn't
what I
expect to
saw
see
little
that.
parts of it. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting because you don't typically see that. In fact, on like the regular Bachelor, you see them or Bachelorette shows, you just see them, they're kind of just not so nice to each other, very competitive. Yeah, it's
Working.
different.
But yeah.
What's that?
I said working out.
Yes, always working
Keeping
out.
muscles.
Yep, exactly. What would you tell people about that are contemplating finding love like this? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think, what's your advice to someone who's
Yeah.
not that I'm thinking about it, but if people are?
Absolutely be yourself. Absolutely try to forget that there are cameras there and just key in on, explore the friendships. Just be kind to everyone, be
Mhm.
open-minded, and, be open to the experience. But really, number one, really try to just be yourself, which is the hardest thing to do when there are all these
Oh,
cameras
I
and
bet.
lights around you. But, the viewer doesn't see that, of course.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
see that. It has to look so natural. And of course, it does look natural. And there were special moments. There were moments on the show where I was really able to forget that there were cameras there. One of them was
really.
when we were sitting with the cupcake and we were outdoors. That was the first time I really sat with Gary. I
Yes.
loved that moment, where he put the cupcake into my mouth and he
Mhm.
said, "If I have icing, would you help get it off my lips?" I was very excited about that. The diner, I didn't have a clue that we were going to a diner. We're
That was
driving and
so
driving and
cute.
driving.
Yeah.
And I said, "Gary, are we almost there?" He goes, "Yeah, we're almost there." And later he goes, "I had no idea." Because I'm like, he's just
Yeah.
following directions. And we get there. But my first thought was, oh, a diner. We've got thousands of diners in New Jersey. We're the diner capital of the world. But then
That's funny.
then I realized it was because that was his business. And we walk in and I see a jukebox and I go, "Oh, a jukebox, can we play music?" And he just ignores me. And we go and sit down. And then too, I felt like there were no cameras. I really felt like that was a moment that was just between us. I was
That you
able
just
to forget
connected.
it and be myself. And I'm all excited, and all of a sudden this song comes on. I don't know if you saw it. You hear the music come on. Now, Gary, I think, was aware of the music. I wasn't aware of anything. And I
Okay.
said, "What's this?" I thought it was somebody's birthday. And so he goes, "Oh, it's Journey." And I go, "Yeah, I know it's Journey, but like, what are we doing?" And then I go, and I'm the one who said, "Hey, let's get up and dance." But I didn't know that was the plan. And these are all actors. And now they're all dancing. And I go,
Oh,
I'm
right.
I'm in my mind going, "I'm in the middle of a flash mob. Wait till
I
I tell my
right?
family." I was
Which I
so
love.
excited.
It's always
Oh,
been
I
on
go,
my bucket list. I wanna be in the middle of flash mob. I've
"Do that."
always wanted
Do
to.
It was, amazing, and like, in my head, I'm going, "I can't wait to see this on TV. This is so great." So we had
Right?
not known, like, we never danced with these people before, but I look at it on TV, I go, "It does look like we practiced with them, but we didn't." So I
Oh,
guess
how
the dance
funny.
moves, they
Oh,
must have
that's
been
good
such simple dance moves
that
that,
you could do them.
anybody
Oh,
could have
that's
done them.
great.
Yeah.
That's really great. Okay. And so what were your when it all kind of wrapped and you were with first of all, did you feel like you were gonna get the last rose when it was down to like 2?
No, no. When it
Really?
was down to 3, so
Okay.
it's me and Leslie. I thought it was gonna be Leslie and Faith. I really did. I thought I was going
Really?
home. I did. And the only thing that was bothering me is that my grandson had said, Henry, bless his heart, he
How
said,
cute.
"I know, you can be the new pop-up."
Oh,
And I
that
thought,
was darling.
I'm gonna disappoint Henry." That's all I kept thinking about is, "Oh, no, he's not gonna pick me. That's what I was thinking. I'm
Oh,
gonna
how
disappoint
funny.
Henry. No,
Yeah.
I think it was gonna be me now.
Oh,
Uh-uh.
how interesting. Okay. So, and then who was the when it was just you two, it was
But
Leslie and you, right?
yes, yes.
Yes, and Faith left. Okay. So, and then still when it was down to 2, you still didn't feel like it was gonna be you.
Was gonna be me? Not at all.
How
I mean,
funny.
we were on the date. Okay, the horseback riding date. Did you see it?
Yes.
Gary's mom was way far away. It was, and
Yes.
I'm
Yeah, I saw
going,
all of it. It's just I'm just jogging some of my memory because it's been a while, but yeah, I saw every episode you were on. So, yeah, he was distant on that one?
yeah, and I'm
Mm.
thinking, okay, well, he must be thinking about Leslie. Like I have no idea what's going on. I had no interaction with her during the whole time. I didn't know if he had a date with her. We actually passed a waterfall while we're on the horses and I go, oh, I want to do that. I want to do the waterfall, not knowing that's what they had done the day before.
Oh,
So I thought I had lost him on that date. I thought, okay, this is
wow.
the end. Tell me I'm going home. Like it's over. But then it was that night at our last dinner
Mhm.
when I again finally was myself because I was like, "Oh, what the heck? Like, this is over for me."
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
go, "You know what?" And he goes, "Oh, I wanted to ask you about your job." And I go, "Yeah, you should ask me about my job." I was like real matter of fact, like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, you finally should. Okay, I should tell you about it."
yeah,
And yeah, I was really thinking it was not me at
yeah.
that date. You're looking at the dinner
Wow.
where I'm thinking that it's not me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that night before the end always seems so stressful. Like, I don't know how you get through that night and, that
Yeah,
evening
you don't sleep
because you
at
don't
all.
know,
Yes.
and they can't tell you anything, is that right? They can't tell you, like,
No, I
"It's
knew
really
nothing.
you, don't worry,
No, but I wake up
start it."
and it's
Yeah.
raining. And I'm going, so did Leslie go now? Like she went during the rain? Oh, that's terrible. And then the sun comes out and they're saying, okay, we're ready. I'm going, okay, so she just went or is she going to go after me?
Mhm.
I didn't even,
Mhm.
it did do anything. I had no idea. I don't know. Yeah, what a horrible thing. You go up there, you pour your heart and soul out, and he could turn around and say, well, it's not you, bye. And he did say that. He at the last moment he said, I'm sorry, Teresa, but
Yes.
you're not the one I want to live with. And I go, and all I'm thinking is, okay, get me out of here. I don't want to be embarrassed.
But
Let me
but
go
he
home
said
now.
then what did he say after that? He said, like, "You're
And
the
you're without.
I
So
thought
it's
so,
like,
that's
I
right. You're
can't
the
live
one I
with
don't
you.
wanna live without." Yes.
But he said he flubbed his lines. He said he
Okay.
flubbed. So he really did make me believe that I wasn't it.
Oh
And
my
I thought I
gosh.
was right, that it was Leslie. And yeah, so yeah, didn't think it was
Wow.
me.
Okay. That's gotta
Yeah.
be like, wow. So, and when you had the hometown dates or whatever, and he met the family, what did your family have to say? Was that, like,
Oh,
super awkward?
they absolutely loved him. It was awkward in the sense that, I don't know, there weren't really very many very private conversations, so everything you saw was on
Mhm.
camera. My daughter was actually dying to talk to me alone, but it was, every time in that sense, yes, you're walking up to the house and I haven't seen my daughter and well, my son wasn't there. He lives in South Carolina, or my
Mhm.
son-in-law, or my three grandsons at the time, or my sisters in such a long time. So I was
Yeah.
so happy to see them.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. Okay. In that sense, it was just a lot of fun. But then
Yeah.
again, you're thinking to yourself, there are two other hometowns. And I honestly thought I was the last hometown,
Oh,
but
how funny because you
I
don't know. Interesting.
those last time. Yeah, I don't really know. You don't know. You don't know what's going on. You're kept in the dark the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the viewer sees it. I watched it later and I saw everything.
Did you?
So
You watched the whole thing later? Did you
mhm.
guys watch it together or no?
We started watching it, but we only got through the second episode, I think, or the beginning of the third episode. We didn't
Mhm.
get to watch the whole thing, but I just recently watched the whole thing by myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, how fun to
Yeah,
watch it
well, and I
again.
did.
Yeah.
I watched it recently, but I also watched it then by myself.
When we
So
all did, right.
I watched the whole thing twice now. So it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you wish that you had said and anything you wish that you hadn't said or done, I should
Yeah.
say, like, what do you regret doing? What do you regret not doing?
I wish I was bolder. I wish I had had the nerve on the steps with Kathy to really say how I felt instead of crying and really telling her, I'm really like, why are you saying this to me? I thought you were my best friend. I
Mhm.
don't understand. I'm confused. And when she said to me, oh, Gary came up to your room, that's something you should have said. I wanted to say, it was not romantic at all. I wanted to say, he would have done that for anyone. He would have done
Yeah,
it for
yeah.
you. He would have done it for the child.
He was
He would
just
have
being
done it for anyone. It
kind.
was not
Yeah.
romantic. He was just being kind. That's all he was doing. So I wish I had been more myself throughout the entire thing and that I had said more of the things that were actually on my mind. I
Mhm.
wish, yeah, I am like in real life, I'm pretty outspoken and,
Mhm.
I'm not shy. And on that show, if you just saw me on the show, you would go, oh, she's very, very shy and she's
Ah,
quiet.
yeah.
And, so very demure.
Right, right.
And
Oh,
sometimes I'm
I'm
just an
sure the
easy
setting makes
person.
yeah, it's stressful.
Yes.
Yeah, you're so
My
like a
daughter,
fish out of water.
yeah,
What
my
did your
daughter
daughter
sometimes,
say?
no,
What did
but
she
some me, they should see you now with your bra strap hanging out. Like, you're
Oh,
not
how
that perfect
funny.
person.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but what
funny.
my daughter, she's my biggest, highest confidant. She's my best
Yes,
friend. She's, my son. We're very close. And
that's
yes,
nice.
my daughter tells me exactly the way it is. She's very brutally honest, which I truly appreciate. I want
Oh, that's
everybody to
good.
tell me what's wrong with me, and
Yeah,
what
ouch,
am I
but
doing
yeah,
wrong? It's fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
Do
I
you
can
live
take it.
near your daughter?
Oh, yeah, 4 minutes away by car. I've
Oh,
never
very
walked
nice.
there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that's
I'm
wonderful.
there all the time, and, I have my youngest grandson is going to be 1 year old,
Oh,
October
yay.
22nd. We now have 7 grandsons, so 4 live here, 3 live in South Carolina, and,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a blast, having
That's
a little
nice.
baby again,
Oh, yeah,
so great.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
Oh,
great.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Very, very neat. Yeah. Um, okay, so then let's look at so I understand, after those total of 9 months with him then, um, where are you now with your dating life?
Oh, it's non-existent. Because
Okay.
I'm not even trying. I'm
You're
not
not. Well,
trying.
sometimes we
I
need a break from even trying. I can understand that. I
Well,
have a lot of girlfriends that go like, "I just need some time out of
yeah,
this before I jump back in." But
yeah.
why do you think? What's
I've been on the dating apps and I do live I had set my radius at 8 miles. I mean, seriously, how am I gonna find somebody at 8 miles?
right.
But I think I've gone out with anybody that's someone that could possibly be for me. I don't know if I feel comfortable going back on them. I don't sit at bars, I don't
Mhm.
sit and drink.
Mhm.
I work full time. I go visit my daughter a lot. So unless some divine intervention comes down
Right.
and so
Well, I do
mm,
think that at well, not just our age. I think anytime post college, like you're not in
um,
a setting where you're constantly meeting people. I mean, I did the dating
right.
apps as well. In fact, my husband and I met on Match.com back
Good.
in the day, which was like now, I think 15 years ago or so. But
Wow. It's
yeah,
great.
we've been married for 4, but because we both were like, let's never get married. That was horrible. We both
Yeah.
came out of this 3-month thing where we're like, oh no. But then I changed my mind, and he continues to tell me that wasn't fair, but oh well, I did change my
Uh-huh.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a prerogative to change your mind.
Right, right. That is a woman's prerogative. But I will say that, yeah, without the dating apps, it's pretty hard to meet
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
And I will tell you though, so my radius I think was like I don't know. I think I may have had like 20 miles and I had been on there and for years and I dated and then I'd have a boyfriend for a while, et cetera. I only met him when I changed my radius. I changed it to 25 miles and it changed
Wow.
everything. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, thank
maybe
you. That's good advice.
yeah, it all of a sudden he popped up and it was like we knew the first date. I knew instantly and so did
Wow.
he. So yeah, so sometimes you got to make
That's
that
all right.
and I know cuz you think, "Oh, that's such a pain. Are we going to cuz we lived like 45 minutes apart, in California." And yeah, 20 miles is not 20 minutes from
Oh,
California ever. It's
okay.
like 45 to an hour. And you first think that's wow, that's going to be difficult. But you know what? As the relationship evolves, you figure it out. You know what I mean? Because it's important
Yes.
to. So then you figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I don't set it longer is because I would include then New York City, and I'm really not going to go into New York City.
Yeah, I
So
see.
close to me, yet so far away, so difficult to get into.
Oh,
So
that's true.
that's
Right,
why,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
That's
don't
funny
know
though.
how I'm gonna. my own dating service is what's going to happen. But
Yeah.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you noticed? So all of the men who were on Joan's season, many of them are with women. They're all with younger women, women
Mhm.
who are 10 to 12 to 15 to 20 years younger
Mhm.
than them. So for me, to say that my age is 72 is like, whoa, I probably could get a 90-year-old. So
Well,
it's,
I know, and they do seem to always go for the younger, but I will say that, first of all, your personality and how you look, you're not 72. So I think there's an error on your birth certificate. So,
well, thanks. But yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's hard though. I know because they do, of course, they love to do that. And, hard to get around that. But I think for a lot of men too, I know several, that have dated younger and then they finally go, there's just not enough in common. There's
Mm,
not enough to have conversations into the night about, there's just not enough to sustain the depth.
mhm.
And if they aren't looking for that depth, you wouldn't want them anyway. That's how I see it.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
attitude. That's a good
So
attitude. Okay.
I think it's great at some point, maybe for friends to set you up, but I don't know. I didn't have any good luck with that because I was single for a long
No,
time. And no, I did not have luck with
I
that.
can't. No, any luck with that. Oh, well,
Right. No, I know
yeah,
what you
it's,
mean.
you know, mm,
Absolutely. So,
it's,
what do you think the whole process? So, I love that you went through the process. I love that love was the goal, and friendships were
mhm.
obviously also. What do you think you learned about yourself in it? Did it? Because there's also that growth that it gives you, which is sort of unexpected. Did you did you learn anything about yourself?
Yeah, I
Your
guess,
resilient.
just
Yeah.
millions and you reset your priorities. And I think that after the show, I became much more at peace with myself. Before the show,
Hmm.
not, I was always searching for something, searching for a man or
Mm-hmm.
searching to do something. And now I am even peaceful just staying in my house,
Right.
gardening. Not that I don't want to be open to other adventures. I want to do things. I want to go out and explore, but I am just more at peace with myself.
Yeah.
And I will say, and before I did not mention April as a friend, she's a great friend. I
Okay.
want to make
Yeah.
sure I mention April, but I've learned that the value of women friendships and
Right.
even more
Yeah.
so than I had before, and how important that is to me. And
Yeah.
that I don't have to desperately seek out a man, and if he comes to me, then he comes to me, and that's the way it is. And
And
so,
that
yeah, I
might
don't
be just
feel
right.
I
That might be what it
yeah,
will take, right? Yeah.
yeah,
And it's also, you did have, I think it's also hard because you did have the love of your life, it seems like,
I
with
did.
your husband,
Yeah,
the father of your kids, et cetera. So
I mean, yes, yeah.
was it hard not to compare to that?
And you always compare to
Hmm.
that. I don't how could you not? And I
Right.
think that played largely into me not ever connecting with anyone when I was on Match because it was too fresh in my
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I fully mourned him by the time, well, not fully because you never do, you never end it.
Right. No.
But the constant crying every day was pretty much done by the time I went on the show. So yeah, you compare. And so I
Hmm.
was open at that time, then I was finally open to someone new. And you would ask me, was there an attraction? There was an immediate attraction, an immediate connection for me. I do believe at love at first sight. I think that that's possible because I don't know, there's something about the atoms in your body and their body and that
Right.
just immediately connects and you connect on every level. So yeah, and I do want to be in love again. I mean, that's the
Hmm.
best feeling in the world, right?
Right.
Being
Right.
lost is so great.
Absolutely. Did it end? Can I ask if it ended amicably? Do you talk at all or?
That I'm not ready to discuss
I
on camera.
gotcha.
I
Okay,
can't
and
talk
that's okay, and I
someday,
someday
I don't know.
exactly, if you
Someday I
decide
might.
someday to talk about it, you'll give me a call, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
I can understand that. I can understand,
Yeah.
and and it's as
It,
viewers, as the audience, we have to also understand these are real relationships, and you don't want to necessarily share everything about it. I would think I would be the same way. I'd be like, "That's too either painful, touchy, personal."
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amicable at the end, that I can say that,
That's
but yeah,
good.
I'm not prepared to talk about anything, yeah,
Right.
else, but yeah,
Totally understand that.
thank you.
Absolutely. Did recently I follow you on Instagram and I you talked a
Oh,
little bit if you can just share as and we'll kind of wrap with that one, but you talked a lot about health and your father, if you could share that with us a little bit.
yeah. Oh, wow, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
so many people have asked me, "What do you eat?" And I've really kind of touched on it a little bit. And then I said, "Why don't I just really talk about it?" And my journey into nutrition really did start with my dad. He was way ahead of his time. I remember him juicing and Teresa, you've got to taste this. And my dad actually was the world's most positive person. He
Oh,
would
how
say to you,
nice.
"Teresa, you look marvelous." That was his word,
How
marvelous. And he
cute.
had all these books really about juicing and fasting and proper food combining. And it really, this young mind got so influenced by it. And I started trying to eat well when I was 13 years old, and I did it all wrong. And then I embarked on this journey of trying to eat. And believe it or not, the thing that changed everything for me was like I wasn't eating enough protein, and I didn't
Mhm,
realize that. And I was at work. I was actually just as my protein, I finally was eating chickpeas, brown rice, and tofu together as my source of protein. I was at work one day. We worked through lunch. They ordered lunch. The only thing available to me was this beautiful breast chicken
mhm.
breast. I ate it and I go, "Ooh, that tasted real good." And the next day I felt better and looked better. And I go, "Oh, that's what's missing from my diet. It's the
Okay.
protein." And then I got here into the Mediterranean diet. And then today, yes, I just put this post up and
Mhm,
I said, I don't want to impose, what I think on anybody. Let's go through a journey here. Let's talk about what you eat and what makes you healthy and what makes you feel good. This is what I've been doing. It's why hide it under a rock anymore? Just talk
absolutely.
about it. This is what's important to me. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna start. And you know what? That's really funny. I really already filmed the next three things I was going to
Oh,
upload, but
nice.
I don't like them now. So
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna do
why?
it. I don't know. Like, no, I don't like them. So now I have to do it again, like right now. I'd have to do it all
Gosh,
over.
right. You don't like the way it filmed, you mean?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the
Isn't
way it
that funny?
looks. And
So I've done like
yeah,
live stuff and video for so long now, but I totally know what you mean. At the beginning, I'm like,
yeah,
now I'm like, eh.
yeah, yeah.
But you do get to a point where you're like, it just goes and you,
Okay, and that's today. Actually, I filmed that like a week ago, and or 2 weeks ago. I finally said, "I have to put this up. What am I doing? Like, why are you waiting on this?" I
yeah,
guess I was just thinking, okay, once I put this up, now I'm accountable to keep doing it. But that's great.
right.
So
It
now
is
I'm
good.
accountable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And you can
because I
you have the prerogative to change what you're gonna do too. It's fair, like yeah, but I think it falls into which I think is so you to just be that open and connected with other women. And I think that came through
thank
so
you.
much and it even in this
Oh,
conversation today. So yeah, I think women would love to hear that from you.
oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Plus
you. I
you're
got
like
really.
the most petite, beautiful thing. So you are.
Oh,
You're
geez, you're nice.
yes,
That's
yes.
nice. Oh,
It's true.
that's gonna start whatever it is tomorrow and start talking about it. But there's so many topics. I feel like I could go on when before Instagram, before Facebook, before anything, the internet, I used to clip magazine articles and I've got them in the back room about all these things like for nutrition and skincare. And I've been into
Mhm.
this my entire life. And I keep getting, I don't know, I may get a facelift one day, but I keep getting accused of getting a facelift. I didn't yet, but who knows? I'm not against them. To each his very own. Whatever makes
Absolutely,
you
to each his
happy.
own.
And I
Yeah.
look that great. I could use a facelift. So,
Oh, we could
so
all I know,
whatever.
it's so hard,
We
and
all
it's
could. So,
we all could,
yeah,
and then I think once you figure it all out, it starts
yeah,
again. So, like,
that's
I
right.
thought I had my skin figured out, and now I've got some new thing, and
Oh, yeah.
from stress, I've got, like a rash on my eyebrow
Okay.
area. It's better
Oh,
today, but, I mean, you're like, "Okay, what's this now?"
don't stress out. That's what you should
I
do.
know, I know. Well, for me, it was my
Breathe
cortisol
deeply.
was way too high, and so I've been working
Oh,
on that, and that
what
made
is, what
cortisol.
was?
Cortisol, the
Oh,
whole
it
fight or
was.
flight
That's
hormone.
the worst thing. We don't want that high. We
No, and
want
they
it.
were like,
That,
"It is off the
that's a
charts
killer.
high." Like, dangerously high.
Oh,
So I think I'm
oh,
better because things are getting better, but I had when that hit, my skin, the insomnia was horrible. I started gaining
yeah.
some weight around and I've never had a weight issue and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, I don't like
You
this."
you
Yeah.
don't look like you have a weight issue,
No,
but
at all.
I
But you can tell when your body's not behaving like it always does. You're like, I didn't do anything.
yeah,
I worked out as much as I always do, but
yeah,
it's not staying off. So I think as women, we do have
it's
to kind of recalibrate
just
every once in a while.
yeah, you might be trying to do too many things. You've got a lot of stress in your life to do
I
this,
do. I
have to
do.
do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So,
Well,
yeah, good for you.
on this show, we always talk it's being called,
Mhm.
Beautifully Built. It's really
Um,
all about not just expecting life to just be great all on its own while we sit here
yeah,
passively, but to really that a life beautifully built is something you have to go after. What would you say your life that if it's beautifully built, what is key to having your life beautifully built? What would you say?
that's such a good question too. Surrounding yourself with beauty. So I've
Mm,
surrounded myself with a garden of beautiful flowers. I've got so
I
many
can
windows, and
see
anywhere I
them.
look,
Yeah.
I I just picked these today,
I
but
love
these
those.
and so I've got gardens here, gardens there. So everywhere I look, I see a garden. I
I love
play
that.
beautiful music. I'm a big believer in making your life beautiful. I appreciate everything in life. I take deep breaths and I really look at the good side of everything. I see my grandsons and I'm just like beaming and
Mhm.
my daughter and talk to my son. And,
Mhm.
it's just, and you feel your senses, your sense of smell, your sense of sight, and and bring like a calmness to your life. So
Yes.
really, I'm striving for that all the time to have a beautiful life. And the biggest thing I'd like to have in my life is romance. Make everything
Mhm.
romantic. Like,
Yes. Oh, I
beautiful
like it.
lighting. Like I actually have lights, twinkly lights all around these windows, which you
Oh,
can't
gee,
see at
how
the moment.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I turn them on, yeah, I'd have to
Well,
go
that
around to every single one.
completely resonates with me. I mean, I don't know if I'm an architect by trade.
Oh,
So,
how
yeah,
nice.
I do this kind of on the side, but I've
Oh,
been an architect
wow.
for over so
I'm
I
impressed.
completely believe with that 100%. If we surround
Yeah.
ourselves with beauty, it affects how we live. It affects like our mundane, doing the dishes, boring stuff, but you turn and you look
Yes.
at your garden and it's enhancing your life. Yeah.
Right. Folding clothes, take a deep breath and appreciate that you have clothing and
Yeah.
put music
Right.
on while you're doing it. Yes. So just add those elements that make you feel beautiful and make your life better as you're going through your day. I might end on this, but I have the opinion that everybody should have music playing through their lives. Like you should have a soundtrack to your life. You're walking
Yes,
down the street and there's
I
music
totally
playing.
do.
And
So what's your soundtrack? What is your soundtrack?
well, I play Van Morrison every night.
Do you? Oh,
A child.
nice.
I'm a child of the '60s and the
Yes.
'70s,
Oh, that's
and so
great.
I like musicals. I like every type of
Yes.
music. I love Frank Sinatra. I love the big band sounds.
Beautiful.
It's
If
not
it
just
was you
one
walking
thing.
down the street, what would
If
that
I'm
song
walking
be?
down the street, I never thought of that. There's a song by Van Morrison on the bright side of the road.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's a happy song. It's there's I collect lyrics too that really resonate, and
Nice.
um, hey, it's one of his lines "Hey, it's me. I'm dynamite, and I don't know why." Like I'm just the
Nice.
best.
That's a
I'm the
great, yeah.
best.
That's so good. What do you
It's
keep them in a journal or what do you do with these
that
lyrics?
Arnold,
Mhm.
a good or bad baby. You can change it any way you want. You can rearrange it, and it's just you're making your own. Every day, you can see you're making your own reality, and like
I
things,
like it.
things like that. All right, thank you. And I
I
do have a
love it.
journal. I
And
did
I
all
think
the
you're
quotes.
oh, do you? Yeah. And I think your dad's positivity definitely made its way to
Oh,
you. Yeah.
that
You
makes me
can
feel
feel
so
it.
good so much. My
You can
sisters will be so
radiate
happy.
that. You do radiate that. You do, which is so nice. It
Oh,
came across on the show, but even more so just
good.
talking to you right now.
Oh,
So, yeah.
thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're welcome. Now, if people want to reach out to you, if they want to hear more about the healthy lifestyle that you're talking about, what is the best way? Where would they find you on like Instagram? Maybe
Instagram.
just
I think
share
Instagram.
what is it called on Instagram? What's your profile called?
It's my name, Theresa. underscore Nist at
Perfect.
Instagram.
N-I-S-T.
C
Okay.
and as a nickel. Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. Perfect. Well, it has been such a pleasure to have you on here. I
so
really
nice.
appreciate it. Thank you
I
for
really
sharing so
appreciate it.
much. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah, I
shared
love
your
talking to you.
journey. It was wonderful.
Yes, I agree.